What's up, boys? How's everyone doing? How y'all doing? Oh, I should leave up the little podcast announcement. Hold on, I don't know how to add that here. As you can see, I am advertising the new podcast extremely heavily. I'm going absolutely bonkers and yonkers on this bad boy, because I'm super proud of it. Like, I'm so goddamn proud of it. I might make this a little bit shorter just for ease. Yeah, we're just gonna take off that whole top line. I trust that y'all will eventually follow us on Twitter. Maybe I should just make it a whole... Also, I'm really pissed off because the commands bot that I use won't let me put in the Spotify link, but the website itself, if you do stevie.com/genderswap, actually, that'll take you to the exact page you need, and it'll let you either listen to it on SoundCloud or Spotify. So I'm super excited to be here with y'all today because, as you can tell, we are going to be dating some grunkles. Hi, Red. Hello, Mr. Stevie. I found out I was a system. Hey! Good for you. I'm really happy that you've been able to figure that out. I'm also going to move my alert box somewhere else. I am really happy that you were able to figure that out. I don't really know too much about DID, but it seems like that can be a difficult process. So I'm really happy that you've identified that. I think that's great. I'm trying to move my alert box. Yeah, that's close enough. That's good. Or maybe I should just... Never mind. This could have been way easier. All right, all better, boys. So, how are you guys doing today? What are you all up to today? Just downloaded. Yay. I'm so happy. I'm really excited to play this game because it's been on my to-play list for, like, months at this point. Bits are my favorite algo fucker. Thank you, Rat. I appreciate you immensely. Oh my god, it's Becky. Oh my god, it's Becky. I love the podcast. It filled a certain niche I need, considering my siblings are up to 16 years older than me and are also queer. Hey, that's great. No, I absolutely love having a trans sibling. I don't think I expected to find that much of a connection in Micah, but it's really a joyful experience. Hey, thank you, Nerd Legacy, for resubscribing. Thank you very much. Y'all, I'm so determined. This sucks ass. Hold on. My dumb little announcement looks so bad. Y'all are just like watching me move this little announcement around because I don't want it to be too small, but also maybe I'll just put it down here. That's better. This sucks. Thank you for redeeming Hydrate Zone. God knows I need it today. Grunkle is king. I also have added a new feature in desktop view. There you can see. Thank you, Elijah.exe, for resubscribing. My boys. Elijah now has the little milk emote. Oh my god, I love that one so much. It's adorable. A donation means you get to make the next choice. I'm super excited. I've never tried to do that whenever I play games. I've done polls before, but I've never done this before, so I'm excited to see how it goes. Okay. I think that's about all I need to do. I'm trying to think if there are any other announcements, but I don't think so. So I think that about covers it. I do need to turn the music down because otherwise this overlap is going to sound really shitty. Hold on. There we go. I'm going to start that. Okay. Oh, I love that. This sounds so nice. Oh, it's a graphic novel. Okay. Thank you, Elijah.
Just popping in before doing physical training.
Good luck. Good luck with PT. Ah, good old road trips, full of promise and ripe with potential for adventure, soul-searching, and incredible scenery. Or at least that's what you thought before the novelty wore thin. As of now, your legs are cramping up, you've exhausted your travel playlist 2 times over, and your stomach is begging for something to eat. On top of all that, you're pretty sure you're lost. Driving through Oregon paints a picture of trees, trees, and more trees, especially on the endless winding roads that you're taking up north. All that breaks the pattern is a sign that zips past with words you're just able to make out. Gravity Falls. The road continues on, giant redwoods looming on both sides. You find yourself anticipating something because as you drive on, you can feel it. Something strange is bound to happen here. Something weird. And that's when it happens. Your car picks up speed. The change came out of nowhere, and you quickly put your foot on the brakes, but horrifyingly, the car seems to be driving on its own willpower. Thank you for redeeming Hydrate Zone. Also, y'all, please keep redeeming that today, because I know I will forget to drink water. And in a stream when I'm doing a lot of reading, that's gonna suck. Thank you, Marcus. This is currently my favorite outfit. Elijah says going to attempt to do a workout with Winter Soldier. Bucky Barnes buys stuff. Bye. Good luck, my friend. Everyone wish Elijah good luck. We're gonna do a quick fit check. It's literally just big shirt, little shorts. That's it. And dog tag. Like, hold on. It came up. Oh, I forgot that I had the. There you go. Oh, that static is horrifying. That's a horrible sound. Big shirt, little shorts now gives me gender euphoria and extremely comfortable because the Florida summer is, oh my god, horribly murderous, untenable if you do not have extremely breezy shorts. Okay. Trying to stay calm despite the panic welling in your chest, you pull the emergency brake only to find that the car resists and keeps moving forward like something is pulling it. The car begins to rattle, the wheels screech against the country road, and you're screaming until crash. There's smoke. Why is there smoke? You cough, fumble for the door, and manage to undo the lock just before the door is wrenched outward from your grasp. Something lands in your shoulder. A hand. Are you alright? I love him. I'm so into him. I want to date him. I want to date Ford so bad. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. A man stands at your open car door. His hand on your shoulder leads you to tilt your head up, and he pulls a flashlight from his coat, shining it in your eyes. 2 blinks, and he lets your chin go. His eyes dart over the rest of you, looking for injuries. Still stunned, all you do is watch. What's your name? Stevie. They give me pronoun options. You know, today I'm actually feeling he, him. I love this because they're gonna be willing to date you no matter what, as far as I know. I don't really know. So that means that they're very queer. I just think that's sexy of them. Stevie, I'm Sanford Pines. Ford for short. I would shake your hand, but you look shaken up enough as it is. You seem fine as far as I can tell, but you shouldn't head back out there anytime soon. Where on earth were you driving in such a hurry? You open your mouth to explain when a voice calls from inside the house. Ooh! Poindexter, this better not be one of your experiments again. I've had this place rebuilt too many times to... The owner of the voice walks out of the house and stops slack-jawed at the side of your car and the side of, you're guessing, his house. You must have hit your head earlier because you could swear you're seeing double. And this sexy little outfit? Oh my god. Oh my god. Sweet Moses, Ford, you've done it this time. What? This had nothing to do with me. I was testing my magnet gun and... Oh! It must have pulled this victim of circumstance into the house. I suppose it is entirely my fault. I'm incredibly sorry. Reassure yourself. I can't believe this. My car. What's going on? Who are these men? Why did this have to happen to you? Everything's going to be fine. I'm gonna get through this. Hey, look, it's fine, alright? Sure, there's a dent in the hood from the shack's signage and a crack in the windshield that looks like an ominous triangle, but I'm sure she'll still run. You try to start up the car. It sputters, but ultimately nothing happens. You feel like crying. Oh. Is this supposed to be my name? Let's call a tow truck for this unfortunate soul here and forget. I'll take care of it. I don't know what that is supposed to be, so I'm not sure what voice to do. You're right, it is cheaper to tow it yourself. Sixer, get that magnet gun out again. I'll take care of it. What? No, Stanley, I'm going to fix this. Am I dumb or did I just get this confused? What? Ha! You fix this mess? I figured out a few alien vehicles in my time. Nah, you kidding me? It takes some sort of miracle worker to bring this baby back to life, and this miracle worker is on vacation. Stanley, a moment. Am I dumb? Did I just get that dialogue confused, or was the dialogue box fucked up? Because it did the question mark, so I wasn't sure if there was a new... Okay, so the question marks were definitely supposed to be Stan. That was really fucking confusing. That was very confusing. Okay, I'm good. I don't think it was Bill. It sounded like it was supposed to be Stan, but I think they just forgot to change the... Or maybe it is someone else. Okay. Ford and Stanley turn away, and you're left to your thoughts. Who could anticipate a car accident like this in the middle of a road trip? You could take care of the car, but how are you going to get home? They run buses out here, right? So you take a bus out of here, and then... Ford clears his throat, shifting a little awkwardly in place. Seems like they finished their talk. So, there are a few options. My brother Stanley here could drive you out to town and find a place to stay for the night, or you could stay the night here. We have some maps and information you can look at the gift shop, and in the morning we can help you with the car. What do you say? Oh, hell yeah, someone's hosting me. That's sweet. Just as you're about to answer, another high-pitched voice comes from inside the house.
Grunkle Stan, picture this. A whole week of... Oh my gosh!
I can't do her voice. I used to be able to do her voice really good. The girl that runs out of the house comes to a halt at the side of your car. Oh, great. Grunkle Ford? Why is it that everyone automatically thinks I'm at fault? Well, this time it is my fault, but I've invited Stevie here to stay with us for the night, if you'd like. I'm sure I can fix this. I just have to figure out how. Stanley sighs. I can take a look. Being on vacation's pretty boring, and the old Stanmobile hasn't needed a tune-up yet, so it'd be too bad to work on something in the so it wouldn't be too bad to work on something in the meantime. Thank you, Stanley. I'm sure I can put something together for the gadgets I have laying around if you need any specialized tools to help you with the job.
And let me introduce myself. I'm Mabel. You can ask me anything. I pretty much know everything there is to know about this place.
Wait, hold on. I haven't even said anything yet. I appreciate your offer to let me stay. And to repair your car. Yeah, it'll be as good as new in my hands. I mean, look at my Stanmobile. She's been through the ringer who knows how many times, and she's still a beaut. He points out a red car a distance away. You can't really see how beautiful it is at this distance, but he sounds really confident. Well, this turn of events is fortuitous. Free repairs, free lodging. There's no better deal to be found, and if things don't work out, the town probably has some sort of auto repair shop you can head to instead. Well, I accept. Thanks for the help. And my apologies again. What an embarrassment. I must have made such an elementary mistake. As the Pines lead you inside the house, Mabel leaves her number in your phone for you to call whenever, and you find out that Ford's twin goes by Stan. This part's of the house. This part of the what? Thank you, Becky, for the bits. This part's of the house, but just outside that door is the Mystery Shack. Hey, you ever been in the Mystery Shack before? I wanted to, actually. I saw the bumper sticker while I was on the road and got curious. You're interrupted by a loud, triumphant, "Ha! Those bumper stickers were a good investment. And Sixer says they're too plain and graphically simplistic and don't even have an address on them, Stanley. How is anyone supposed to find the place to attract customers? Sixer, did you hear that?" I think my Stan voice is getting better. Well, they are graphically simplistic. I don't know how he found the place, let alone thought what is the Mystery Shack was compelling. I kind of liked it. See? He kind of liked it. Hey, I like you, Stevie. How about I give you a tour sometime tomorrow? Regular price. I'm drunk right now, so you're probably have more money off me than usual. Becky, please do not be reckless. I love you with my whole heart, but please do not be reckless. Thank you, Red, for the bits.
Tomorrow, they'll have to squeeze all my get-to-know-you questions in today. Stevie, tell me, capybara, yes or no?
Fucking yes, obviously. At that moment, a boy passes in the hallway at the far doorway, and Ford calls out to him. Dipper, my boy, I'm surprised I didn't see you run out to the scene of the crime. What a little guy. Crime? What crime? I have an alibi, I swear. Oh, you have someone with you. Hey, I'm not suspicious at all. I like that my voice is cracking so I can do a really good voice for him. Did you guys see that car in the side of the shack, though? For a second, I thought the Manitars were back with a grudge. Yes, about that. Dipper, meet Stevie. I've, stranded his car here by accident. He's staying here for the time being.
Sorry, stranded his car here? You crashed it? Yeah, the Essence shack fell on and everything, and the windows are cracked. One window, the windshield. And Stevie was lucky to make it out alive. He's fine. No injuries, thankfully. The magnet gun's rather safe despite never having been tested in a formal setting. Yeesh, did you not take safety precautions or anything? Actually, the irony of the situation is that I was trying to install a safety precaution. Hey, if you two are gonna do your nerd talk, I'm gonna get Stevie set up. Mabel, sweetie, why don't you show Stevie around? Let him stay in, the storage room. That's still empty, right? I'll make it empty. She's so cute. Thank you for redeeming Hydrate Zone. Holy shit, what? Pecky, what the fuck? Thank you, Becky, for the gifts. I really said, Becky, don't be reckless, and you said, fuck you, I will anyway. Oh my god. Well, Becky, I think that more than qualifies as a donation, so if you would like to make the next choice that shows up in game, you absolutely can. The rest of the day consists of Mabel showing you the storage room you'll be staying in, then the kitchen, and the living room, and the hallway and the bathroom, and pretty much a comprehensive tour of the mundanities of a regular house. Don't tell me what to do. Thank you, darling. Eventually you find out that the family is even more extended than you knew. The decorative doilies make a lot more sense knowing a grandmother normally lives here, and her grandson, Zeus. Or was it Zeus? Whatever the name, you look forward to meeting him when he comes for work in the morning. Oh, so it's implying that... Oh, okay, so Zeus and his grandmother are also living in the shack. Okay. Becky also gave 500 bits. Oh, you're right. Thank you for catching that. I should probably keep track of everyone who's donating. But you are right, Rat. So, Becky actually does get 2 choices. I actually don't know how choice heavy it is, so I'm hoping we get more soon. Although to be fair, this is a lot of premise right now, so hopefully we'll end up with some more choices in a bit. Okay. When you go up to the attic, Mabel opens the door to reveal Dipper, nose stuck in his book, but you catch him occasionally glancing up at you as he pretends to read. The next member of the family snorts up at you from Mabel's bed, a rotund pink pig who Mabel declares is her best friend and partner in crime, Waddles. Please don't make me make choices. Well, you can also defer this task to someone else if you wish. The two are a perfect match, right down to the chubby cheeks and boopable noses. And in the evening, though you'd still been in disbelief over the state of your car, the family dinner and after-dinner TV marathon you've been invited to made it seem like a normal guest stay rather than a forced circumstance. Returning to the storage room Mabel had shown you earlier, you find an air mattress waiting for you, and more pillows and sheets than a summer night warrants. That's sweet. You wake up to the weak glare of sunlight streaming in through the small, high window in the wall. You can't remember your room having this kind of feature, or any hotel or motel room for that matter, and then yesterday comes crashing back to you. You glance at the time to see you've slept into the afternoon. Experiencing the accident yesterday must have left you tired out. Despite having been assured yesterday evening that you were free to anything in the fridge, you still feel like you're imposing on the Pines family and try preparing as polite a guest breakfast as you can. I defer all my choices to Barbosa. Cheers. You wash your dishes in the sink before you leave, and just as you're about to exit the kitchen, you bump into Ford. Yes, from yesterday, of course. For a good solid moment, Ford regards you in awkward silence. Ford clears his throat. I believe Stanley's take you look at your car outside if you want to be there for it. You give a nod and make to leave for real this time when Ford speaks up again. And Stevie, I'm sorry for the accident. If I'd been smarter about, well, let's just say it's entirely my fault and you shouldn't worry about this at all. When it comes down to it, Stanley does have a knack for cars. I predict you'll be back on the road in a matter of weeks. Weeks? You can't keep the dismay off your face, and can't really bring yourself to try to either. What am I going to do with weeks? Ford, who'd gone kind of uncomfortable and closed off when your face fell, recovers at the prospect of a question he can answer. Well, there's the town to tour, of course, and the mystery shack. But if you ask me, all that pales in comparison to... Hold on. Do you hear that? Ford turns to the kitchen doorway to investigate. Sounds like... The sound comes again, and this time you hear it as well. The squeal of a pig, followed by a pair of quick footsteps running down the stairs. Waddles tumbles past the open kitchen doorway, and Mabel comes into view soon after, a few sheets of paper clutched in hand. Ford steps quickly out of the kitchen, and you follow to the doorway, getting there just in time to see the apparent tug-of-war between Mabel and her pig over a saliva-covered sheet of paper. The paper rips, and after nearly toppling backwards from her efforts, Mabel recovers, snatching the scrap of ripped paper from Waddle's jaws and lifting both pieces up victoriously. Ha ha! Mabel wins again! Now I just gotta find Grunkle Ford. Ford, who'd run forward and held a hand out to steady this energetic child when she'd been in danger of toppling over, now finds a number of crumpled sheets of paper shoved into his hands. Mabel tugs urgently at his coat. Grunkle Ford, you've got to help me! Ford kneels down to face Mabel with a serious, though concerned look. Slow down, Mabel. What's the matter? Dipper found a stack of pages from your old journals, and I walked in, and Waddles ran up and started eating one, and he must have been chewing on it to warn me, Grunkle Ford, because look! Mabel takes the ripped halves of the paper back from Ford's hand and joins them together, holding it up for Ford to see. I see. And you took it as a warning. Yes, it says here that it eats small dogs, and Waddles is a small pig, but he sort of looks like a dog from far away, and Waddles must have feared for his life. Waddles seemed to second this notion with a snort, or not, as it seems that the pig is lounging adorably a short distance away in the hallway. You can't imagine what this dangerous predator could be. Some kind of wolf? Something bigger? You're suddenly not so keen on staying anymore. Remember the pterodactyl I told you about? Waddles was so scared that time, I can't let him leave my side. Pterodactyl? You suppose pigs are allowed in museums around here. How about I finish that repellent I never got around to completing? That'll keep Waddles safe from harm. Mabel flops down on the floor in relief. Grunkle Ford, you are an actual lifesaver. Waddles, you have nothing to fear. Ford chuckles, lifting himself out of the kneel and standing back up. He's such a hero. He's so kind and chivalrous and fatherly. Boy, my daddy issues are really popping out right now. Alright, I'll go get my recipe. Ford turns to leave, and you suddenly remember that with nothing better to do for the weeks you're going to be here, it wouldn't hurt to get to know Ford. He seems to know what there is to do around town anyway, and you'll need that to not die of boredom in the first week. Or, more pressingly, you could go check on your car and see what Stan's made of it so far.
Halfway through my winter soldier hit stretches.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Good for you, Elijah. You're not exactly eager to face seeing your car on the side of the house again, though. Okay, Barb. This is your choice. What would you like? Thank you, Elijah, for redeeming Hydrate Zone. Barb, should we get to know Ford or go check with Stan? Barb says Ford, a woman of taste. Ford, wait. Need a hand with that recipe? I can handle it myself. Are you sure you couldn't use a hand? He already likes me. Oh my god, oh my god. Ford looks away, and you follow his averted line of sight to Mabel, who's just mouthed something you can't catch. When she catches you looking her way, Mabel gives you a 100-watt smile, the picture of innocence. Ford rubs the back of his neck. Yes, I suppose I can accept some help. Thank you, Becky, for the bits. If you said Stan, I would have revoked your second choice. I have. Listen. What? Oh! I always forget I have the fucking sound alerts until they happen, and then I'm so confused. Thank you, Marcus, for the bits. I'm certain that he's already told Mabel that he likes me. And so Mabel was telling him to not reject my offer. Although, to be honest, I do kind of want to see how they make Stan sexy. You know? I don't know. Oh my god, this is Shiloh's influence on me. The fact that I want to go for the nasty one? Deeply upsetting. It's very good that someone else is driving this ship. And with that, assured that Ford is on the task, you spot Mabel rolling away with Waddles into the living room. Thank you for redeeming voice check as well. Before we get started, I suppose I should give you an introduction. Stevie, tell me, do you believe in the supernatural? Yes. Barb, what would you like? Yes, no, or I want to. I don't know this one matters so much. I want to. Okay. Well, you're about to come face to face with the unexplainable yourself. You see, Gravity Falls isn't some quiet, unassuming backwater town. Much more lurks below its surface. There's no music anymore. Hold on. Because the music only happens sometimes, I am going to put on the music I wanted. Because I am stubborn. Ba dee ba do ba be ba do ba ba dee ba do da dee da do da da dee da do. Okay, there we go. Alright, boys. Can you hear this? Oh no, I'm just not hearing anything in my ears. No, that's on me. I literally just turned down my volume by accident. I feel like a fucking idiot. Thank you for redeeming Hydrate Zone. Okay. Ford pockets the crumpled journal papers and gestures for you to join him as he walks. You do, and follow him through the living room and into the gift shop. For example, you must have heard Mabel mention a pterodactyl. Most would say none exist in the living world today, but I say not if you know where to look. Red redeemed.
Please, sir, any spare subs? Any spare subs for poor orphan boy, any at all? Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
If I thank you for the bits, Marcus. We've had to fuck a Gwilf grand uncle I'd like to fuck. I've been saying Grilf. I have been saying Grilf. Don't forget to stretch after doing any kind of PT. Everyone listen to Elijah. If anyone else told you this, you'd be disinclined to believe them, but the authority Ford carries is surprisingly compelling. He's magnetic. That's funny since that's what crashed our car. Rip. Thank you for the gift sub, Elijah. Ford reaches under the cashier counter and retrieves a packet of vintage-looking gum, inspecting it for a moment before slipping it in his pocket. He looks around in thought. Hold on to my explanation for a moment. I need to retrieve some more supplies. Ford ushers you out the gift shop entrance so that you find yourself on the outside of the shack and shuts the door behind you. Becky's trying to balance Twitch, Discord, and horny texts. Ford ushers you out of the gift shop entrance, blah, blah, blah. Close the door. Oh, come on. I want to peer through the window. Oh, god damn it. The glass is dirty enough that the sunlight hitting it obscures your vision of the room within. You catch a gray and tan blurry figure that must be Ford at the far wall. You lean in too close and have to step back before you leave a conspicuous handprint on the window pane. When you look back in, Ford is gone. You turn back around. You're just going to stand here until Ford returns. Not too long later, the door opens behind you and Ford joins you outside, looking no different than before. He must have stored whatever supplies he went to retrieve in his coat, but the trench coat falls too naturally on his figure for him to be hiding much. Where were we? Ah, yes. Ford pulls a pen and pad of paper from his coat, walking as he writes. Just as you're about to head out, he stops and smacks his hand to his face. Oh shoot, 1 second. What the fuck? Ford hurries back to the house, realizing he forgot one important component to this adventure. A butterfly net. Before you get a chance to ask, he strides out ahead of you, obviously in no mind to tell you what it's for quite yet. The pair of you walk past the shack and down a well-worn path into the trees surrounding the house. Alrighty, I'm off. I'm gonna get my ass back to work. Good luck, Elijah. I adore you. Thank you for the bits, bestie. Mothman. That's an idea, actually. That is, well, maybe knock off Mothman. He double checks whatever he scribbled. I misread that. Oh, no, I did. Okay. He double checks whatever he scribbled onto the paper and tucks it back into the... Final hydrate, damn. Damn. And tucks it back into one of his coat's seemingly infinite pockets. He stops and turns to face you with a definitive nod. My recipe for repellent called for a sprig of lavender, 2 thin slices of ginseng, ginseng, a drop of bat blood, a chunk of amber, and 3.5 milliliters of ink. He pauses, staring down at the path in thought. Obviously, I already have all those components on hand, all except for one last ingredient, a single moth's wing. From Mothman itself! You were right, Phantom. You can't help it. You gasp. Ford glances at you, and you think you see a hint of a smile before he turns back to the path and continues along, wind ruffling through his hair. You see, Mothman is the very creature on that page that Waddles seems to fear. Using a piece of itself should ward it away, or at least lead it to believe that Waddles isn't for eating. Stevie, please, we deem Hideaway. Oh, whoa. Also, Stevie, fuck you. Water's for the weak. I would have already completed the repellent years ago if I'd managed to collect that wing. Was it too difficult? Oh, I just never got around to it. Besides, Mothman used to come bat at this lamp I had lit out in the backyard. It seemed like such an innocent hobby that I never had the heart to chase it off. But this brings Mabel and her pig a peace of mind, and the time has come to finish this. Sunlight filters in through the trees, causing dappled shadows across Ford's coat as he leads in front of you. Break the silence? Yes! How do you know so much about this stuff? I study anomalies. Anything unusual, strange, or just plain weird. I began my research in this town because it was, and remains, a hotbed of paranormal activity. I made this exact trip years ago, though at the time I had no idea where I was going. It was just dumb luck that I managed to tail Mothman back to its cave from my backyard. Navigating the forest by moonlight is poetic, but not advisable. I made plenty of other discoveries as well, from fairies to gnomes to amalgams, I guess, of creatures who were never meant to cross to... Ah, wait. Ford reaches into his pocket and pulls out the slightly crumpled pages that Mabel had pushed into his hand earlier, smoothing them out and shuffling through them. Take a look at these. They're more definitive proof than just my word. You accept the pages from him and find that they're scanned pages from some sort of journal, just as you'd heard Mabel say. Fluid cursive tells of Mothman, beard cubs, scamp fires, and more. Ford gestures to them and explains. I detailed my discoveries in a series of research journals, the remaining pages, at least. I wonder where Stanley was keeping these. You drew these? Were any of these creatures ever dangerous? You must have gotten up to some pretty crazy stuff back then. That one. That's one way to put it. Only took 6 years for me to get in over my head. He takes a silent moment to look away from your gaze, seemingly in bittersweet remembrance. I detailed my discoveries in a series of research journals, the remaining pages at least. I wonder where Stanley was keeping these. You drew these? Yes, of course. Who else? They're so photorealistic. I love your line work. These ink washes look so masterfully executed. Give an ambiguous nod of acknowledgement, and I've seen better. Oh, we can like play hard to get, piss him off. I love your line work. I'm really trying to suck his dick right now. Oh. My work now... Shut up, Barb. You wanted this. My work now is far better, but I appreciate the compliment. Despite his understated words, Ford looks surprisingly pleased. Were any of these creatures ever dangerous? Oh, extremely. Some were... Stevie, simp. No, I meant that as a verb. We must actively simp. Yeah, I don't know how I misread your tone on that. I should have guessed that's what you wanted. Oh, extremely. Some were worse. Dangerously annoying. Though Ford seems to find his own comment amusing, he doesn't fail to notice your unease. I do have weapons in case things escalate, so there's no need to worry. You brought weapons? Not many. I have a stun gun, my fists, and my sharp wit. Hey, thanks for resubscribing with Prime Barb. I am so swag. It's true. You are. I feel safer already. I detailed my discoveries in a series of research journals, the remaining pages at least. I wonder where Stanley was keeping these. Oh, not the magnet gun creatures. Oh, you shuffle through the pages, deciding which one to ask about. It says here the Mothman turns into a bunch of moths. You mentioned gnomes. Will we catch sight of the pterodactyl? So about this leprechaun, there are floating eyeballs here. Gravity falls home to giant vampire bats. Grim loml. Floating eyeballs. Sounds disconcerting, doesn't it? I once released them in my house by accident and found eyeballs in the most unsuspecting places for months. My guest chose not to comment on my choice of house decor. Stevie, ooh, he can play hard to get. Also Stevie, when he wears a sweater. Creatures. Mothman turns into a bunch of moths. Yes, that's how we'll get the Mothwing. Then why not use mothballs as repellent? Well, I've never tried. Could the most conventional method be the unconventional one? Or would Mothman be able to overcome its mothly nature and persist? Vampire bats. Giant fruit bats, actually. They are among the first to teach me not to judge a creature by its reputation. Becky, what? Stop! Thank you for the gift subs, Becky. Please. Christ God. I'm like 20 minutes into this stream and you've already given 10 gift subs. Christ God. You're gonna have that little #1 spot, huh? That is another choice for Barb. That is. Unless, of course, Becky would like to take the choices this time. Stop giving Barbie power. Yeah. I only realized they were harmless once I'd been bitten by one. I've drank a full bottle of whiskey. Christ God, Becky, please be careful. Oh, no, that still sounds pretty bad. Oh, it actually healed quite fast. I attribute that to the health kick I was on soon after. Do I have to ask the magnet gun question? I thought it'd be prudent to leave its magnetic fields alone for a while until I have the time to optimize it. You see, I was trying to widen the area of magnetic influence, but it's been a while since I last worked with the gun. I need to refamiliarize myself with its inner workings. My guess is I switched a wrong wire or two and instead narrowed the beam. I'd like to see how it works sometime. Really? You know, if you're interested in devices like that, my old research colleague Fiddleford would have more to show you. He's the engineering genius around here. I don't want to talk to Fiddleford. I'm gonna say walk in silence. Okay, so that's how it would progress from this. Okay. Suddenly, Ford puts an arm out in caution, slowing his pace. You narrowly manage not to collide into him and take a quick glance around to see nothing? Look, there. You see what looks like a bundled up plaid shirt moving along the forest floor. Wait, is that a beaver's tail? It looks like a platypus. Oh, what are you doing all the way out here? Don't you mean a platypus? Ford shakes his head with a grin. I meant what I said. It's a platypus. A platypus. Ford moves into a crouch, but stays at a respectable distance, following the small creature. You watch him, and after a moment, mimic his actions. Ford's giving the creature a bright smile, the first of its kind that you've seen since leaving Mabel at the shack. You're a cute one, aren't you? And one of my favorite patterns, too. He likes flannel. Ford motions for you to move forward a little more, to the distance he's maintaining. If I were to rate the oddities that live in this forest on a scale of least to most annoying, these guys would get immunity. They've done nothing wrong, and I appreciate them for it. As the two of you watch in quiet appreciation, the platypus ambles into the underbrush and vanishes from view. What a cute little guy. The two of you continue deeper into the forest. The foliage seems denser now, and you look through the treetops for a glimpse of the sun, which has by now dropped low in the sky. It had already been getting late when you left, but you hadn't thought Mothman would be this far out. Almost as though he read your mind, Ford answers for you. Mothman is rather reclusive, and as such, lives deeper within the forest than bolder creatures like the gnomes. Are you alright? Huh? That is, are you tired at all? I should have asked sooner. It's just been a long time since I've traveled with anyone new. Stanley tends to speak his mind without my asking. He's considerate. Consent king. Damn. Okay, Barb. Which one do you want? Is he, yeah, thank you for redeeming Hydrate Zone. Barb, what should I say? I'm tired, that was a long walk. I'm worried about getting stuck here at night. I'm fine, really. I feel like if we say we're worried, he'll, reassure us and it'll be really cute, scared of the dark. Ooh, woo. I know these woods like the back of my hand. We'll make it back. At least I used to. It's been a while. You feel the opposite of reassured. I'm scared. Hold my hand. Bean gets it. In any case, we still have some time until sunset. Let's wait here in the meantime. We're gonna watch the sunset together. You mentioned traveling with Stan. Is this what you do for fun? Why wait until sunset? Barb. Which one should I do? I feel like one of the first two. I feel like one of the first two. First, okay. I suppose it wouldn't do any harm to tell you. He says that, but the tone of his voice says he's been dying to tell someone for months. I've been sailing with Stanley around the world, chasing after hotspots of anomalous activity. He seemed to view it as a vacation, but I saw it as a chance to pick back up on some serious research. I've been rather eager to break the news of what we found in the world, but I must first organize my findings. And if I'm honest, I still need some time to get back in the swing of things. Must be strange to come back home after traveling so long, huh? I think that's fun that they did that together. More than you know. Ford laughed, shaking his head. Behind his glasses, his eyes are downcast, almost sad. You want to ask, but decide to stay silent. The moment the sun touches the horizon through the gaps in the treetops, Ford gestures for the two of you to continue. You hadn't noticed, but you've been resting within short distance of a small clearing that holds a cylindrical stone marker. The stone marker bears intricate swirls carved into its surface. Ford reaches into his coat and produces the packet of gum from earlier, opening it and dumping the pieces out into his palm. Emmy says, "Do you think if I pretend to be scared, he'll hold me gently in his big strong arms, ooh-woo?" Gum? Thanks. It's old, but sure. Unsure of why you came all the way out here to unwrap gum at sunset, you accept a stick of gum. Ford puts the remaining gum in his coat breast pocket. He unwraps the now empty gum packet to reveal that it was hiding a small piece of parchment, folded up to act as lining. He smooths it out against the stone, holding it under the deep orange red of the sunset. You step closer to look over Ford's shoulder. The parchment holds a detailed drawing of the swirls carved into the stone, documenting every crack on the surface. As you watch, a golden cursive unfolds itself across the page, seemingly fueled by the sunset's warm light. Ford reads the words as they appear. "Such a place the Mothman doth rest, but please do not disturb his nest. If kindness be something thou bereft." Ford lifts the parchment a little higher to prevent his shadow from obscuring the rest of the line. "Follow thy nature and turn left." Hey, Becky? Hey, Becky? What the fuck? Becky? Becky? Is that 10? Bestie, what the fuck? Thank you for the gift subs. Do I have to block you from donating any more gift subs? Becky, what the fuck? 20 gift subs. Listen, seeing as each gift sub is $5, arguably, Barb should have 20 choices at this point. Holy shit. I love you. I love you so much. Do I have to, like, time out Becky? Well, Barb, I guess you get the next few choices. It's not a super like choice heavy game. But I think I do think you'll still end up doing it for a while, I think. That notification is gonna be going for forever, I guess. Well, Barb, it definitely says to turn left, but what do you want me to say, Barb? Christ, God. And everyone in the chat is just like, Becky, Becky, please, Becky. Nora came to the VC to tell me off, so I won't be gifting anymore. Good. Good. Thank you, Nora. Christ, God. I think so, Stevie. We press onward. Good job, Barb. Left leads you to a dimly lit cave, which Ford says he remembers well. Except last time he was here, it was pitch black since he arrived in the middle of the night. From its depths, you hear the faint sound of dripping water echoing off the cave's shadow-shrouded walls. You slow as your eyes attempt to adjust to the low light. Oh, we're in the dark together. Wow. Ford pauses in front of you, reaching into his coat for something. Thank you for the... Wait. Oh, okay, I thought that was a new one. But still, thank you for the bits, Becky. Hold on, I have a flashlight in here somewhere. This cave has never received much natural light, you see, and... oh no. He rummages further and you see a couple dice, the pad of paper from earlier, and a quill. He has some custom pocket work going on in there too, and you bet one of his coat's inner pockets has a pen protector in it. Here we are, at last. Allow me to... Darn, out of batteries. Wait, I think I have one. I'm just like strapped the fuck up with batteries? Okay. Okay, girly. You pull out your phone and turn on its flashlight. The light is small, but it does its job. Huh. You saved our hides there, Stevie. I was about to pull out a matchbook. With your light guiding the way, you and Ford move further into the cave, which yawns wide around you. It isn't until the sliver of natural light from the entrance disappears that Ford speaks again. It's been years since I've been here. Decades, even, at this point. But I'll always remember the eye bats as one of my first discoveries when I arrived at Gravity Falls. How did you find them in the first place? One got into my house, you see. I was making breakfast one morning, and one managed to find my cereal box. When I poured the cereal into the bowl, it came fluttering out, agitated, like it belonged there. The nerve. He still sounds so indignant, even years later, that you laugh. I wanted to contain it for further study, but unfortunately I managed to get away. As I thought about it afterwards, the pupil had constricted against the light, unfamiliar of the bright light in the kitchen, so either it's nocturnal, or it lives in the deepest, darkest cave in Gravity Falls. I found them easily after that. Did you manage to catch one? Somewhat. I came running through this cage with a butterfly net in my wits. I brought a working flashlight that time. They all hid in dark corners. Once I turned the flashlight off, they flocked to me. I caught 18 of them that day, but it reminded me of the stealth uses of the rapid sound of clicking claws against stone startles you, a shiver running up your spine. The dark. You turn off your light. Ford taps your shoulder and gestures for you to keep moving forward. Eventually, the narrow passage widens into a large room. The darkness shrouds the source of the dripping water from view, but as your eyes adjust, you squint to see a strange winged shadow. A shadow with eyes that glow red in the near darkness like rubies. Your breath catches in your throat as the realization comes over you. Secret tunnel! I'm not sure what's going on, but here you take some bits. I have to go get more money to spend on you, Stevie. Thank you, Red. I love you. Ford is apparently fairly close to you in the room. You find when he speaks a few inches from your shoulder. You catch the shadow of his arm swing out in a wide arc, like he's introducing you to, Stevie, I'd like for you to meet the Mothman. He whispers, but even in the dark, you see him grinning excitedly at you. Ford looks between you and the Mothman, apparently hoping for a dramatic reaction. Your speechlessness seems to satisfy him. Don't worry, it hasn't noticed us yet. Here's the plan. You make contact with Mothman, and he pulls out a butterfly net and a large lidded jar. Now where that one came from, within his coat of mysteries, is lost on you. Yo, can we date Mothman instead? Honestly, that would be far more on brand, wouldn't it? We'll capture one of the hundreds of moths that comprise it. Okay, Barb, which one? Wait, I get to touch Mothman? The Mothman? You're heading in with a butterfly net? Seriously? Isn't this a little dangerous? Can you do it? I'll take the net. Which one? I thought we were gonna fuck Ford. First one, okay. Yes, and it turns into 100 Black Witch moths. It's like experiencing a swarm of locusts. Surprising when you're not expecting it. Remember, even just a light touch is enough. You steel yourself, awaiting Ford's signal. He waves his hand to coax you forward, and then it's up to you to decide how to, well, make contact. Okay, which one? Run around back to its blind spot, run straight for it, approach with stealth. Touch Mothman's butt! Actually, I think that would qualify as harassment. I will not do that to him. Stealth, okay. You tiptoe towards the Mothman, remembering Ford's comment on the dark and trying to channel your inner stealth skills. This Animal Crossing music goes so hard. Of course, that's the moment your phone decides to start blasting Taking Over Midnight by and Sandra? I don't know. You're confused before remembering that Mabel added her number to your contacts and must have made that her custom ringtone. Mothman turns at the noise and screeches, but before you can barrel into it, the creature explodes into 100 moths. Oh, Ampersandra. Okay. Oh, that's cool. That's actually a really cool name. The fluttering around you, getting stuck in your shirt and skittering around your face, surrounding you in mothy hell. I'm screaming. This is the event music that plays on bug off days. Deadass? Oh my god, you're right. Fishing tourney and bug off. That's very cute. That's very fitting. Your task accomplished, Ford rushes into the large swarm of moths, waving the butterfly net with a few unsuccessful swipes. He tries swatting the more aggressive ones away, but there are too many. Okay, use the phone's light to attract them towards you and away from Ford, or run up to Ford and start swatting at those monsters with your bare hands. Stormcloud says attract them. Barb says light. Okay. Oh, that's cool. You grab your phone and quickly switch the light on, running to Ford's side and holding it up high. You even attempt to call them over despite knowing they don't respond to sound. Ford will think you're sexy for being smart. You're really strategizing this, huh, Barb? Before long, they all crowd around the phone. The sight of flickering light reflecting off so many small wings would be somewhat captivating if you hadn't just been in the midst of them. Ford puts the butterfly net back away and, jar in hand, carefully scoops one of the moths up. Well, that could have gone better, but we've succeeded nonetheless. As Ford pockets the jar, you turn off the light. With no light and no threat to focus in on, the cloud disperses. That was amazing. Ford laughs, brushing dust and dirt off his trench coat. You could say that. Our completed repellent is within sight. Let's head back. Ford turns to leave the cave. He looks calm and content. You, on the other hand, are buzzing with energy under an adrenaline rush. Should you go for a high five? Which Barb? I honestly feel like he is not going to understand what a high five is. And also, double also, it is dark. He will not see it coming. I abstain. Understandable. You're wise. He's a nervous nerd. He needs time. When you and Ford finally reach the cave entrance, you find the forest that you left in the dying light is now awash with a silvery glow. Very romantic. A gap between the leaves overhead provides a view of the night sky, along with a long string of stars. A few more steps and the Milky Way comes into view, looking as if a tear across the fabric of the sky. I think that's grammatically clunky. Ford notices you looking. See something? The pterodactyl doesn't usually come out this late, but being a prehistoric creature, its behavior is rather unpredictable. I've never seen the Milky Way in person before. I haven't seen the Milky Way in a while. I feel like the first one is really cute and naive. If he points out the Big Dipper. I honestly don't know how much actual horniness is in this game, but I suspect, if anything, it will simply end in a kiss. I'm gonna say I've never seen it in person before. It looks amazing, isn't it? It's remarkable what you can see without light pollution from the city. Here on the outskirts of town, you can see a good portion of the Milky Way every night. He gazes up into the night sky. A whole year has passed, yet it still feels strange to see a sky I recognize. What? Oh, traveling. You know, I was in a different part of the world. No, he did something interdimensional. Fuck no. Oh my god. You both stare up at the sky in a comfortable silence for a few more moments. The quiet of the forest settles in, along with the distant sound of flowing water, and you find yourself surprisingly glad that Ford had accidentally pulled you here, but this is one of the moments you get to experience. This is cute. Out of the corner of your eye, you swear you see Ford looking at you instead of up. When you tilt your head back down, his attention is elsewhere. This is like every, fanficky Tumblr post I read as a teen. Like, you're like, the stars are beautiful.
And then they like look at you and they're like, they are, you know.
Eventually, the two of you come to a wordless mutual agreement to continue on, and you're walking again. It is the tangled moment. You'll have to show me the other creatures that live here sometime. You're glad you've said so when you look over and find that Ford looks pleasantly surprised to hear it. His chest puffs out with pride. I give money, I disappear. Goodbye. Goodbye, Becky. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I adore you, and I'm very grateful to you as always. Of course, maybe we'll even get to spot the hide behind or tag along with Dipper when he next visits the multi-bear. The what? Ford taps his temple, grinning. You'll have to wait until I show you to find out. I'm holding you to that. We have some time left before we get back, if you're up for another walk. You must make a face because Ford looks back to you and laughs. We're not far, I promise. I just thought I might answer a few of your questions if you have any. I feel like there are cool questions that we could ask. I'm gonna do questions. You must stay in great... Oh! We're just going right for it. Oh my god. Oh my god. You must stay in great shape if you do this all day. You know, actually, this sort of thing isn't part of my exercise regimen. So he has an exercise regimen! Ford turns left at the stone marker, towards the sound of the river, and sure enough, after a while, it comes into view. The moonlight illuminates the water as you walk along it. Are we gonna go skinny dipping? After following the river for quite a few minutes, the shoreline expands into a small round lake in the center of the clearing. Overhanging it is a large flat rock, the kind that could be used as a less than effective diving board in times of emergency. The emergency being that one just had to jump into the lake. However, neither yourself nor Ford really look in the direction of the diving board. He leads you toward the edge... Shit! Hold on, go back. I couldn't read that. He leads you toward the edge of the lake where a relatively flat boulder could substitute for a bench, and the two of you take a seat. Oh my god, what do I do? Okay, ask about creatures, ask about the family, mystery shack, ask about staying, ask Ford about the stars, or wait for him to speak. Oh my god. Oh my god. Barb, tell me what to do. Stars. Okay, Emmy and Barb say stars. Okay. Oh my god. You ask Ford if he has a favorite constellation, and his answer comes faster than you expected. Also, this music is very fitting for this scene. Orion and Ursa Major, without a doubt. What about you? I like the stars in general. Aquila, Summer Triangle. Coincidentally, Ursa Major. Ah! Which one? I want to have the same one. I think having the same one would be great. Those are the dippers? Oh, that's cute. Ursa Major for sure. Well, you must have good taste. Oh my god! Make out with me! Oh my god. Okay, what next? I'm gonna exhaust, like, all these options. What next? Well, part of my... Oh, okay, I see. I kind of want to ask about the family. I feel like that's very intimate. Creatures. Stormcloud says creatures. Family, mystery shack, staying. I'm gonna go with what Stormcloud said. Because they said something first. You said thank you for redeeming voice check. And posture check. Damn. Christ God. Oh, my neck. You said to wait, but can I at least get a preview of what I'd be getting into? Not content to leave them to discover yourself, huh? Well, has anyone told you about the Gobblewonker? And Hydrate Zone again. Y'all are really trying to get me to take care, huh? Emmy goes, big stretch. Like I'm a toddler, huh? You snort, taken aback by the name. But compose yourself when Ford simply raises an eyebrow. I don't think so. No. Not even in the tourist guide? Does the office even read my letters? Ford mutters to himself something about updating the tourist guide to warn against local dangers. He sighs with a frustration that's reserved for bureaucracy, but soon lightens up at the prospect of getting to introduce you to another strange creature. Where'd the music go? Did I just turn my volume down again? Yeah, I did. That's on me. My thing keeps getting twisted. Oh my god. There we go. Okay. Well, the Gobblewonker is a very large sea creature that lives in this very lake. One could say it's our version of the Loch Ness Monster. My old research assistant apparently saw it at some point. He said it was large, gray, and scaly with a long neck like a giraffe. You wouldn't have had any odd sightings yet, have you? It's only been 24 hours, but my own first encounter with the strange occurred shortly after my first arrival as well. Christ God. Was there something last night? I cannot remember. I feel like something was mentioned and I can't think what. Do y'all remember? I want to say maybe or last night. Stevie really a master of reading comprehension. I'm gonna say last night. It's a little silly, but I felt a little unsettled last night before I went to bed. Almost like I was being watched out in the hallway. Ah, that must be our unwanted guest, the decapitated head of wax figure Larry King. Just try to ignore it. We haven't been able to fish him out yet. Family, mystery shack, staying. Family. Oh, what is Stan like? Stubborn, foolhardy, a liar, and a cheapskate, but a true hero at heart. There's no one else I'd rather call my brother. Okay, I want to go through all these options, but I have to go to the bathroom first. Give me a minute. Okay, boys, we're back in business. See, if you didn't make me hydrate so much, I wouldn't have had to piss. So maybe that's on you. Also, I just noticed that Becky bumped us way up close to our goal. Holy shit. I want to say, what's Mabel like? Barb made a joke that's been on my mind a lot. Total brainwart mode. She called me Monster Mommy because I made a few monsters for the adult chat. So I made a Mother Fierce, Dearest of Monsters, Self-Sona. What? What? Make children by drawing them and crumbling the paper like clay. Land art and inspiration made Prince the Monster app. Ooh, hit me with it. That sounds hot as hell. That sounds very good. Me. That's all you hear. Complaining about hydration. Shut the fuck up, Emmy. God. Trying to get me to take care of myself. Shut up. In short, a force to be reckoned with. She radiates charm and positivity and has depths of determination I can only guess at. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you all... Barbie, Stevie's being mean to me. Are you fucking kidding me? Y'all piss me off. I don't want to do this stream anymore. Stop it! I was complaining on stream about not wanting to drink water because I didn't want to have to piss anymore. Y'all, the fucking tomfoolery. And they just all started redeeming Hydrate Zone. I am in hell. Thank you very much. Yo, I have to drink 5 bottles of water a day for a month because I lost what the fuck? That's horrifying. I should do my captions while I'm thinking about it. Fine, I'll just drink water while I'm doing this. That's a lot of water. That's too much. That's way too much. Oh my god. Sucks. Keep going. Go fuck yourself. This is deeply upsetting. I'm like so mad. This is gross. You are a slave to our whims. Honestly, I really do subject myself to your dark desires every week. Thirsty man, cry baby. Ayo, any spare subs? Oh, did someone redeem that I missed, or are you just asking? Drink it up, Stevie. The people pay. A monkey who performs for our sick pleasures. You are all horrifying. This sucks. Don't be mean. Stevie doesn't deserve it. Thank you very much, Macadoodle. Thank you very much. I don't like this very much. This is a bad stream. You're all just bullying me. Drinking ASMR, channel points cost stuff. God. Hold on. I had to burp. Oh my god. That's you guys' fault. Ew, okay. Not me saying ew at just drinking water. You know, this probably would be less unpleasant if I actually, like, put ice in my water bottle for once. Cope, you all are so mean to me. Come join the stream. Chat is bullying me. Yeah, that's about right. Barb called me a MILF. As she should. If you choke, at least you'll die hydrated. Okay, fine. Damn. Dance Monkey Dance is really sending me. Are you quoting my own podcast at me? Did you just quote my podcast at me? I hope you meant to do that, because that's a surreal feeling. I think that's enough of that. I'm gonna go put water in this so it's less unpleasant. Oh, my tummy feels funny. My tummy feels very funny. Oh god. Hold on. Pulling steam is kind of fun. They go on streams now. Shut the fuck up. You're all very mean to me. Okay. Oh, Barb, you mentioning gender swap reminded me that I should probably put that little announcement back up. I'm just gonna be doing, like, just shameless self-promo. Just shameless. Hold on. I need to add that. Give me a second. Stop redeeming. Marcus, what's your fucking damage? What's your fucking problem with me? Do you want to, like, do we have an issue? Do we? Like, damn. I'm gonna put that in the corner there. Okay, that looks alright. More or less. Fucking A. You literally have a podcast command. Wait, is it working? Because whenever I tried to set it up... It is! Okay, every single time I put in CloudBot earlier, it said it wouldn't do it and it wouldn't pop on my list. Okay, good. Hold on, I'm gonna edit that then. Thank you. Use command. Podcast. Great, okay. Thank you. Damn, that's enough of that. Y'all suck. Anyway. My tummy is very full of water. Steve, Angie, Becky, the drunk rich ghost is living precarious through me. We're seeing. God damn it, Will. Oh my god. Let me get back to my get back to my Grunkle dating sim. Y'all being very mean to me. In short, a force to be reckoned with. She radiates charm and positivity and has depths of determination I can only guess at. Squish steam is just like those water fountains. Comet. I'm gonna up the amount you need right now. Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Hold on. Channel points. Rewards and challenges. Hydrate zone. Hold on. Cooldowns and limits. Max individual redemptions per user per stream. Okay. Okay! Wait, I didn't mean to change that. Why does it say why does it say that? Okay, boys. Ha! Fuck you. Okay. It's now 600 and there is also now a cooldown and a limit to the number of times each of you can redeem it per stream. Calm is a little bitch boy, Christ God. Becky says no problem, dude. Love the cat ears, love the Grunkle dating sim someone. I'm a new follower. Hey bestie! Hey my friend, I'm really happy you're here. My chat is harassing me right now, so this is a really, really good time for you to pop in and join us. There's 62 of us though. Yeah. Yeah, let's see how many of you are that gutsy. Anyway. You'll find out for yourself, most likely. It's not hard to wake up one day and find yourself a friend. Perhaps you already are. He's so charming. He wiggles his fingers spookily in the air and you laugh. I don't doubt it. What's Dipper like? Dipper is very intelligent. In many ways, he reminds me of, well, myself. Excuse me. Oh my god. See, I'm burping because of all the water you made me drink. Last summer, he found the research journals I mentioned, and instead of overlooking them, made some impressive contributions of his own. He has since started his own journal, and I look forward to see where life will take him. He's made me prouder than I can say. Who is Seuss? Ah, the handyman, Seuss. He's, well, I'm still not sure what he does exactly, but Stan gave him the rights to conduct his business with the shack, so he spends his day giving out tours, selling merchandise, fooling the townsfolk, giving no refunds, and the like. I may not have been around the original Mystery Shack very often while Stan was still running it, but I believe Seuss is doing the brand name good. Okay, so Seuss is the one running the shack right now. Okay. Ask about the Mystery Shack. Ah, yes, the Mystery Shack. Mystery Shack used to be my house once upon a time, and now it's a tourist trap. I'm glad for what it's become as a home. I just wish it weren't so offending to each of the senses. Ask about staying? Are you really okay with me staying here? Absolutely. I owe it to you after all. You helping me today, however, was not part of the plan. You're making it rather hard to settle my debt. I think you did me a favor just by letting me come along today. Oh. You know? The two of you share a smile. Ford looks out across the lake in thought. Stevie, I have to admit, I didn't want to take you with me earlier today. I thought I'd be walking myself into an uncomfortable social situation. So did you, to be honest. And you did well out there. Not many tourists could handle the kind of task we just completed. This had the potential to have gone disastrously. I mean, a butterfly net against Mothman? Easily a 3% success rate. Sometimes the more Ford speaks, the less reassured you feel until all that's left is a distant unease. You smile and nod anyway. Coffee Frog, did you redeem it? Because I don't see it. I don't think it counts. I didn't see it. It didn't come through. I know if you're lying, because I can see who redeemed it. The two of you sit in another redeemed hydrate zone. Y'all are just making shit up. Y'all are trying to get me to do it. You realize it looks different on this side? You realize it shows up in different fonts? Oh, yeah, now you're just spamming. I'll time you out. I'll time you out. Y'all, it comes in a different font when you actually redeem it, you fucking fools. Oh my god. Christ. Size and trans and self-esteem issues and not feeling like enough of a man for a relationship. Very, yeah. So are you guys just gonna... Not the mod spam. No, that's what I'm saying, Barb. That's what I'm saying. God. The two of you sit in another moment of quiet night air pleasantly chill around you until Ford again breaks it. We should head back now. I'm sure Mabel will want to hear that we've been successful. You stand and give Ford a hand up from the makeshift bench. Ford takes the lead again, and soon you're no longer able to catch sight of the lake when you glance back. Ford gradually adjusts his pace to yours, walking side by side with you in companionable silence all the way back to the shack. Almost there. You recognize from incredibly flashy signs touting phrases like Mystery Shack this way and Sasquatch to your left that you are extremely close to arriving back at the shack. Thank you for redeeming posture check. Haven't gotten to smooch anyone yet. I won't totally disable hydrate zone. See, there are 65 people here. Each of you at this point are going to be able to redeem it twice, I believe. Is it harassment for paying for your services? Fuck off, Will. I have to go for now because I'm drawing. Posted the Mommy Monster in your DMs. Oh, say less, my friend. 1 fucking second. Emmy just DM'd me a picture of a glass of water and said, boo, fuck off. Okay. Oh, this is a hot monster. Y'all, come on. Come on. You see it. She's hot. Oh, that's stellar stuff, Will. Hold on. That's delightful. I love that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, there's 65 of you. There's a 5-minute cooldown, and each of you will be able to redeem it twice, I believe. So between all of you, you could easily keep redeeming it. I wonder how non-social people here are anyways. Can I tell you some cool Gravity Falls? Yes, absolutely. Feel free to tell us some very cool Gravity Falls facts while we're playing this. 1,000 people spamming hydrate. Honestly. It's my face, so thank you. Monster Mommy hot. Becky, you said you're gonna stop spending. Thank you for the bits, my love. Fine, I'll drink my water. Damn.
Monster Mommy hot.
The fact that you got the text-to-speech person to say that. As you and Ford leave the tree line, you see the bright light shining on the porch. You make out the faint outline of the kids' shadows as they run through the house and emerge in the attic window, and Mabel pushes it open, leaning out. Grunkle Ford! Finally, you guys took so long. I had time to cover waddles and macaroni. Why would you do that? I have my reasons. Did you get the thing? Yes, and I'm coming inside so we can stop shouting. Stevie, come along. We've got a pig to save. Ford strides into the shack, a man on a mission. You grin and follow, but not before taking one last look at the night sky. Yeah, maybe your stay won't be too bad after all. This music too. Back inside the shack, the grand conclusion to your expedition to the Mothman's cave is spritzing Mabel's pig with the newly finished deterrent until the poor piglet reeks of lavender. You see Mabel and Dipper head up to bed looking sleepier than usual as a result. Something about lavender is so soothing to the senses that you crash out fairly soon afterwards, face first on your makeshift bed. Love meter is low! Oh, to be fair, it's our first date. Can you give me dating tips? You're good at this. It's like you were made for each other. So Mabel is rooting for us. So this is like her score. That's a really cute mechanic for the game to have. Like in Dream Daddy, it'll literally give you a letter score after each of your dates. With this, Mabel would just tell you what she thinks. I think that's great. So our love meter is low, and I'm assuming that that's gonna get higher the more time we spend with him. I'm also gonna make these little banners bigger. Can I do that? Hold on. Yeah, that's close enough. Oh, that's too big. Yeah, there we go. You wake up to a loud crash downstairs. Not entirely uncommon in this house, but you're quickly finding out, but still disconcerting. So I'm on page 2 at this point. Not page 2, chapter 2, and I still haven't met Seuss. More clatters and thumps lead you to the kitchen, where Mabel teeters on a short stepladder in front of the pantry. Standing on her tiptoes, she reaches as high as she can for a small yellow box on the top shelf. Pancake mix. Emmy, I have no idea, actually, how long it is. Without a word, you go to her side and pluck the box from the shelf for her, placing it into her outstretched hand. Oh, Stevie, thank you. Grunkle Stan put it on the top shelf for some reason, but I need some Mabel cakes. It's a breakfast emergency. She waggles her free fingers in your face and you can't help but laugh. You can tell the house becomes more alive when this kid's around. Want to help me make them? We only need chocolate milk, coffee, pink food coloring, and pot of Goldos to make this breakfast dream a breakfast reality. As delicious as that sounds, you're inclined to ask where the coffee comes into the mix when you realize the house is suspiciously quiet. Mabel, where is everybody? Oh, Grunkle Stan needed stuff for your car, so he went to go get mechy, techy stuff for that. I think Grunkle Ford's somewhere. Dipper. He heard the abominable bro man was trying to steal soda from campers, so he went to help them out. God damn it. Sapphic Violet redeemed Hydrate Soap. Fuck you. Fuck you very much. Your little colon 3 face. There he is. I wish he had the little pine hat. Yep, that's where he went. Totally knew that. So he left you guys to make breakfast on your own? You don't know the family well enough yet to know this is commonplace, so the idea of leaving 2 teenagers alone to fend for themselves seems fine. If one of those teenagers wasn't Mabel, anyway. You still don't know how coffee fits into her Mabel cakes, but now you really don't want to know. Dipper attempts to hide the pancake mix from Mabel while she's grabbing the chocolate milk from the fridge. Apparently he doesn't want to find out either. You're right, Marcus. This is extremely good art. Like, they did quite well with the sprites for these. Mabel, while your Mabel cakes sound absolutely divine, why don't we... Quick, think of something so you don't hurt her feelings. Go out for breakfast! Yes, absolutely. Is there somewhere we can go out to get breakfast? Red, thank you very much. Red, you get to pick the next choice. Oh shit! What? How many are you doing? Was that like 3? Was that 3 in a row? Thank you, darling. I appreciate you very much. I think that was like 2 or 3. That's delightful. Thank you very much. Sue's Diner has pancakes. You're right. We should really save the maple cakes till your granduncles get back. I know they won't want to miss them.
But I want to perfect my recipe. I have to get better at cooking and baking and stuff so I can survive out there in the world. What if in high school I'll have to bake stuff and people are better than me?
Mabel looks very agitated, tugging at her hair with both hands. Oh.
If I can't make the perfect maple cakes, I can never be on Bad Dreams Dining. I gotta impress Gerald Rambo, Stevie. It's my destiny.
Ah. Knock off Gordon Ramsay. Dipper, can you cook?
Maybe Dipper can help you make something different. We should save the maple cakes for another day, a more special day. I want to let her make the goddamn maple cakes.
It was 2, my dear. Thank you very much, Red. The notifications came up weird in Streamlabs.
But Stevie, I wish they'd let her make the maple cakes.
Ugh. Mabel, still standing on the stepladder, reaches up and squishes your cheeks together, her wide eyes staring into your soul.
Every day is a special day with maple cakes.
You glance at Dipper, making a please help me and I'll buy you breakfast face. You hope he understands. Yeah, Mabel, I know you want to cook more since you're becoming an adult.
Sure, but don't you think Grunkle Stan and Grunkle Ford should be here to try them too? And not just me? Again.
Mabel hops off the stepladder and ponders her brother's question, lips pursed. Eventually she nods, beaming at you both.
You're right, Dipper. I can't deny that experience.
You give Dipper a thankful smile over Mabel's head as she puts the ingredients back in the refrigerator. He grins back at you, rubbing the back of his neck. You wonder if he got that from one of his grunkles.
That's cute.
That's clever, now that you think about it. Great plus uncle to make grunkle. Saves time on syllables.
We should go to Greasy's. They have some of the best pancakes there, like with 3 different kinds of syrup if you ask Lazy Susan nicely.
Oh, so it's canonically called Greasy's.
Yeah, it's not super far. Let's go.
The kids are about to head out of the kitchen when you realize something.
Wait, aren't you going to leave a note for your grunkles about where you're going? Oh, right, good call.
Dipper scribbles out a note for Stan and Ford and sticks it on the front door of the shack with one of Mabel's stickers. The kids lead the way towards the town, explaining various landmarks and the wild and wonderful stories attached to them along the way. The Grunkles are gonna love that I am bonding with their kids. What? Great nephew, great niece, grephew, and grease. Horrible. And this is where we saw those 2 ghosty old people. In a convenience store? Strange, but you nod regardless. Maybe she just meant they were so old they looked like ghosts. Though, after what you've heard about Gravity Falls already, you could believe they were real ghosts. Dipper points out the diner in the distance, a log-shaped building atop a train cart, and the 3 of you head inside. You soon realize that the kids know just about everyone in this town. Several people, young and old, wave at them as the 3 of you find a table, and you get the feeling that they're almost famous in Gravity Falls, though you're not entirely sure why. My septum sideways. My nose keeps itching with the septum. This is my favorite ring, so I won't change it. Delusions of a fox. Thank you for redeeming Hydrate Zone. This is less horrible with ice water. They're pretty cute, though. Mabel blows the paper wrapper of her straw at Dipper's face, and he retaliates by swatting her with the laminated menu. An elderly woman in a pastel pink waitress dress comes up to the table. You catch the name on her tag. Susan.
Hiya, kids. And stranger. What can I get for ya? Pancakes and all 3 syrups for me, please, Lazy Susan.
Same for me, actually. Lazy Susan turns to you, notepad in hand. Ooh. Okay, Red. Which one? Should we get pancakes, waffles, or scrambled eggs and bacon? This Red, for the newcomers, gave a sop, which counts as a donation, so they get to make the next choice. If they're still in chat. I actually just realized I don't know if they're still in the chat, but I'm assuming they are. Red, calling all Reds in the chat. Which one should I eat for breakfast? I think we should do waffles. Awesome. Okay, thank you for the bits. What the fuck? You could have just put it in chat, my guy. I actually do also prefer waffles. The crunch, really good.
Coming right up, sweetie.
Lazy Susan winks, with her good eye of course, and heads to the back of the diner. The wait for your food to arrive feels longer here than most, mainly due to Mabel and Dipper using this time to interrogate you. At first, it's somewhat intimidating. You literally crashed into their house and started hanging out with their great uncles, so they have lots of questions. Once the irrational fear of two 13-year-olds fades out, you recognize their interview for what it really is. They care about your grunkles. If you do start hanging out with them more, they want to know as much about you as possible.
No, I have too much money.
Red, please! Thank you for the bits. Mabel's questions are somewhat nonsensical. Hey, bestie. I sent a photo of one of Ford's tattoos to general media. He has tattoos? Hold on, I'm gonna see it. Delusions of a fox has redeemed.
Please, sir, any spares outs? Any spares outs for poor orphan boy, any at all? Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Oh my god, Comet just sent me the Minecraft, like, bucket of water emoji. Oh my god. Y'all are too much. Hold on, I want to look in general media. Where is that? General media. Wait, where is it? You said it was in... Where is this? Oh, these tattoos rank among my most serious regrets. Oh, it's this, it's the... Oh my god. It's Hey Now I'm an All-Star. Hold on. Hey Now I'm an All-Star. That's so cute. Let's just say I wear this turtleneck for a reason. Oh my god. That's great. So you were stranded on a deserted island with no boat, no cheating. What would you like to take with you? While dippers are more careful and calculated. What were you doing before you came here? School? Work? Both? Neither? Did you know about Gravity Falls before you crashed into the shack? You immediately know which grunkle each twin takes after. Stan and Mabel, goofy partners in crime, versus the quiet brainiacs, Ford and Dipper. It's an interesting contrast, especially now that you're thrown into the middle of the bunch. But as the twin race to see which syrup bottle drips into their mouths the fastest, Dipper's blueberry syrup beat Mabel's classic maple by half a millisecond, you swear on it. You know that these kids do a lot more for their great uncles than just be cute counterparts.
I have too much money, so I shall spend it on you, Stevie.
You are too much, Red. You are too kind. I should also ban you like we've banned Becky. At least for the night.
And here we go. Enjoy, kiddos. Let me know if you need anything else.
I think you're the kind of person that likes burnt pastries. That feels like an insult somehow. I'll have it be known that before I started my work from home job, I worked in two separate bakeries. One was a French pastry shop and the other one was a donut shop. So no, I do not abide burnt pastries, even a little bit, and I also love to bake, which a lot of people don't know about me. No, it's more of an observation. You are wrong! You are absolutely wrong. Lazy Susan gives out the... Red, goddammit. Lazy Susan gives out the respective plates and the kids go away, shoveling down their food like they've never been fed before. Between mouthfuls, you get a few more questions about yourself, and your theories on aliens versus which members of M-Synchronize was your favorite, M-Sync. But at the table is near silent as the three of you eat. That is, until Mabel speaks up, their mouthful of pancake.
So, Stevie, if in a totally made up and not real situation, you had to pick who your favorite was, who'd you pick? Grunkle Stan or Grunkle Ford?
That seems too bland compared to her other cutesy questions. Dipper elbows his sister not so subtly, and she elbows him right back. She elbows him right back, wide eyes staring at him, in a sibling-linked look you can't decipher. Interesting.
Like, say you're in a movie. Like one of those weird movies Grunkle Stan watches on TV with the ladies in poofy dresses riding horses.
Awfully specific, but you let her continue, taking another bite of your food.
You're the main character of this movie, and you got two guys who are both madly in love with you.
This one doesn't mess around with getting right to the point, huh?
But you could only marry one of them, so you could be the next in line for the throne. What would you do? If Grunkle Stand and Grunkle Forward were your choices, who would you go with?
Thank you, Red, for the gift sub. I feel like I have to pick Ford, but this is very upfront. Mabel, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Like, really weird and kind of gross. She's very forward. I give all my money. Red, you've definitely donated at least 500 bits at this point, so you do get to make the next choice. What research?
None of your business yet, but I'm still gathering other research.
Mabel leans towards Dipper's ear to whisper, waggling her brow at you before she replies, in not a whisper, but quite the opposite.
Research into how you're a huge nerd.
And with that, Mabel catapults a spoonful of melted butter from atop her pancakes onto Dipper's cheek with a very satisfying splat. Dipper jerks in disgust, but retaliates by smearing strawberry syrup onto Mabel's nose, a drop of stickiness plopping onto her sweater.
Ew, gross.
You're gross. There's no vitriol between the twins, but lots of giggles and a few more various food missiles. Eventually, syrup streaks Mabel's cheekbones and some of her hair, and Dipper has a small piece of pancake stuck to his face. You guys are dorks.
Maybe you're right, but we're twins, so it's adorable.
If you say so, Mabel. Sent over $30 just tonight. Bestie.
I spent over
Bestie,
$30
please.
just tonight.
Please.
Wait, quick, Stevie, take a picture of us while Dipper's got pancake on his face.
I have what? He swipes quickly at his face, and after several passes, gets it off.
Aw, I was trying to get more candid pictures of us.
Mabel, you have syrup everywhere.
Really? Ah, then it would have been a perfect photo.
Here, let me get it. Your hands are sticky enough. You get back up with a napkin in hand and try to wipe some of the syrup off Mabel's cheeks. The excess syrup swipes off easily, but a good portion doesn't budge. This is so sweet. Oh, this is so cute. I feel like I'm a dad. I mean, maybe syrup as makeup is the next new look.
That's one word for it, kid.
They're both here! I'm with the whole family. We wonder where you went when we came back to a suspiciously quiet house.
If it weren't for Dipper's note, we would have been worried. Sixer would have been worried. I try to tell him you kids pull this kind of stuff all the time. Heading out unannounced, putting stress on your poor old Grunkle's heart.
He puts a hand over his heart dramatically.
All of those missing hours of unpaid child labor. Actually, that note wasn't me. Well, I wrote it, but Stevie's the one who said we should, so you know where we went.
Both Ford and Stan turn to look at you surprised.
Really?
Figure those two knuckleheads dragged you here. Why not make breakfast at home? This place is at least a 15-minute walk from the shack. Well, you glance at Dipper, swiping his finger across Mabel's cheek and licking the blueberry syrup off. Mabel has a pancake in her mouth, chewing on it like a grazing sheep. I want to treat them to something, I guess. It's the least I can do. You're letting me stay with you and fixing my car. I thought since you were gone, I'd take these two out for a change. Also, Mabel was gonna make Mabel cakes again.
You're just mad you can't even make toast right. What? Yes, I can. I burned it one time. One time.
Dipper holds his syrup-tipped finger in the air, indignant. Well, Mabel wanted you guys to enjoy her Mabel cakes too, and since there wasn't much food, I figured I'd take them out. Stan snatches the pancake from Mabel's mouth and takes a bite out of it, cackling when she stands on the seat to try and grab it back, climbing over Dipper to reach. Aside from the kerfuffle, you catch Ford's eye.
Was he staring at you?
As soon as he realizes, he quickly sets his gaze elsewhere, looking over your head and out the window. You say that he probably just shifted his attention, but his finger hooks under the high neck of his sweater and tugs at it. He's blushing! This is not a drill. He is blushing. Well, Stevie, I really appreciate you looking after Mabel and Dipper for us. It was very kind of you to bring them here. This is so fucking cute. This is so cute. Oh, it wasn't a big deal, really. I'm happy to help. His little blush is so cute. Oh my god. You smile at him, pretending you don't feel how warm your face is. Maybe it's just hot and Greasy's. Ford looks close to the shade of his sweater. I like that this isn't like an excruciatingly slow burn, you know? Dipper mumbles an "ow," and you catch Mabel elbowing his side, waggling her brows at him. You're not sure why.
Well, kid, if you're paying, scoot over, Dipper. I want breakfast too. Stanley, it's at least 12:30 now. Uncle Ford, that means it's time for brunch. Duh. See, this kid gets me. Now let me in so I can get some grub. Dipper moves to your side of the booth as Stan sits next to Mabel, and Ford sits at Dipper's side. Lazy Susan comes back and takes order for another round of food and drinks for everyone, including Mabel, who decided she wants more pancakes. I'm mad I paid for a sub token and it charged me. It didn't give me the sub token.
I'm mad I paid for a sub token
What the
and
fuck?
it charged me, but didn't give me the sub token.
I'm sorry, friend. Z, if you do the command !Discord, it'll send it to ya. What is your favorite noodle flavor? Ooh, like pasta shape? I do like macaroni, but bow tie has always been charming to me. That's not the one I normally get either, but I do like it a lot. Oh, wait, I forgot. What was I saying? Oh, want some more pancakes. Okay. Oh, like the cup of noodle things. Ooh, I do like beef. I do like beef ramen. Oh, that makes me crave ramen. I got like a bulk package of beef ramen like a year and a half ago whenever I first moved out because I was afraid I was like gonna starve or something. I didn't. I was okay. I didn't need to buy it, but I was just like really nervous and I wanted to have something in case I was going to. So I've had, oh God, I've had bulk beef ramen for a while now. You start to regret offering to pay, but as Stan and Mabel try their hand at the syrup drip race with Dipper cheering them on, Ford watching with a wide grin on his face, you know you don't really mind that much. This is so cute. We're like a big family. Fried noodle flavor is better. Fried noodle? What is that? I've deadass never heard of that. I've never had that before. Remember when we drowned you in water with hydrate zones? Yeah, no, I remember, Mad Dog. I was there. After the expedition to find Mothman, you accompanied Ford on a few other missions, so to speak, examining various birds of the forest, including the questionable stomach-faced duck, who snatched your sandwich and quickly ran off, Ford in hot pursuit. Well, he didn't find what evidence he needed. God damn it, Comet! You both decided that the stomach-faced duck flock were questionable. Not as questionable as the question quail, which he shows you from a scanned journal page, but still questionable. You ask why he decided the octopus was too stupid to study, but received a loud groan and too sticky as an answer. Valid point. All in all, your adventures with Ford have been more enjoyable than you'd expected, and you can't help but hope that you'll get to experience another one with him soon. Thank you for the bits, Mad Dog. You walk through the living room, lost in thought about questionable quails and Ford's journal pages, and narrowly avoid slipping on a sheet of graph paper. Ah! Don't look! Oh, it's you. Dipper peers over a book that proclaims D, D, and more D, officially licensed campaign journal. He's sitting on the yellow armchair with crisscrossed legs, barricaded in with books and papers. He's got a lap of multicolored dice and half a dozen chewed pencils strewn across the floor, and one in his mouth. You look down and notice the floor is almost entirely covered in graph paper. Hi. Did you need something? I know it's kind of messy. I should probably clean that up. Dipper looks reluctant to extract himself from his self-constructed fantasy lore prison. Here, I can do it. You look busy. You're about halfway through cleaning the floor before you actually start looking at what's on the various sheets you're holding. A fantasy map, some floor plans, and countless scribbled notes and calculations in the margins. I will get my sub token. I will gift another sub. Red, you do not have to. Thank you for the bits, though. Christ God.
I will get my sub token.
Okay, there it is.
I will gift another sub.
Horrible. Just horrible. What are these for? Planning something? Dipper's re-immersed in his planning. He startles a little when you ask. Oh, right. No big deal. It's just for this great pen and paper role-playing game called Dungeons, and More Dungeons. DD&D for short. It's all about fantasy worlds and statistics and swords, and It's kind of difficult to explain, but it's super fun. I started playing a new D&D campaign last night, and it's so fucking cool. My friend John is making it, and it's based in a theme park called like Supernova, and it's like basically Disney, but it's also like super like interdimensional. And so I'm playing like a very, very vapid Disney prince with the longest name in the world, and he's a sorcerer, but he has wild magic because he's extremely shitty at sorcery. So he has a lot of power, but it's very like uncontrollable. Like he just does not have the skill to rein it in. So sometimes just like random shitty things will happen. Like he'll try to put someone to sleep with magic, and instead he'll turn into a plant. It's very exciting. Hey Stevie, do you want to copy Journal 3 from Gravity Falls? Yes, that sounds cool as fuck. That sounds extremely cool, my guy. Holy shit. I'm playing with GRUNKLE 4 today, so I'm just putting down the final touches on my dungeon. Like you. Oh, fuck off, comment. Yo, you fuck off. My first instinct was just like start like bopping the fucking camera. I'm playing with GRUNKLE 4 today, so I'm just putting down the final touches on my dungeon. He's gonna be so stumped. Stumped, you say? Cloud's really getting your ass, huh? Ford comes into the room at that precise moment, drying his hands on his trench coat. How'd I get it to you? Hey, good question. I was supposed to go set up my P.O. box today, but I was too nervous to go to the post office. Leo, actually, Blue Baby, discovered a fun hack with the Amazon wish list, where if you get something on the wish list, you can add something that's not on the wish list to the cart. I don't want to make you do that, though. I should actually go get a P.O. box. I know, I need to go. I need to get a P.O. box. I'm just really, really scared of the post office. It's so scary. It's like really quiet. They're in a rush, and I'm just a little guy. Perfect timing, Dipper. I just managed to get the paint off my hands. Paint from what? Oh, one of the gnomes came by and decided he'd graffiti the side of the house. Something about his rapper persona. Yeesh. The gnomes are a SoundCloud rapper. Oh god. Yeah, yes, I don't think Jay Gnomesy is going anywhere in the music business. In any event, I see you've been hard at work. Are you ready for our game? Yes, and oh, Stevie, I can take those now. Thanks for the help. Ford looks like he's just noticed you standing there for the first time since he entered the room. Stevie, glad to see you weren't too shaken up by our adventure yesterday. You grin and hand Dipper the tall stack of papers, catching a glimpse of the stats for a knock-knock skull. Well, I made it back in one piece, right? Depending on the post office, you might be able to set it up online. That sounds nice. One of the post offices wanted me to make an in-person appointment. Here's the thing. I made the appointment for today, and I just didn't go. I literally stood up the post office. Like, yeah, that was rough. I also don't know why they made me do that when it's all stuff that could be done virtually, like very easily. That's the spirit, though 90% of a piece would have been good too. You know, you never realize how little a difference 10% makes until you lose it. So how is Mothman? Emmy, what? Damn. Can't believe you ghosted the USPS. No, actually, it was just UPS. It wasn't even the USPS. USPS, I do feel a little safer in somehow. I know. Shaken up. All in the name of research, though. I've seen it lose a few moths and come back the next week. Good as new. A process akin to cycling out dead cells. I would say we just expedited that process. No moral issues there. Well, Stevie, the game calls, and I must answer. Stanley's about if you're looking for him. Though, well, if you wanted to join our game, I certainly wouldn't object. I can promise a fun afternoon. Another player. Yeah, totally. I can give you a pre-made character sheet to start and dice. Shoot, where'd I put my other set? Don't worry, I've got an extra set. Me? I don't even know how to play. Oh, okay, UPS you can play a little hard to get. Unlike Ford, apparently. Oh man, there's so many rules. Where to start? I mean, it's really easy to pick up on. It's even, like, kind of popular now. You're not sure about committing the whole afternoon to this game with Ford, though Dipper does seem pretty excited about it. But Stan's around too, and you wanted to go check on your car. Oh my god. Well, think about it, Stevie. Dipper, my boy, why don't you and I get things set up in the meantime? Ford and Dipper launch into fantasy lore talk as they prop up a cork board against the yellow armchair, pin up various maps and floor plans with important landmarks, and upend their pouches of dice onto the carpet. Ah! I can't decide! Do I go play with Ford? Or do I play with Ford and Dipper? Or do I invoke the power? Barb! I invoke the power of Becky's immense donations and request you join them. Fine. Fucking fine, just so we can progress in the game. Okay, fine. Oh my god. Asked to join the game. Great. Oh, shoot. Did you look at the plans earlier? Those are for Dungeon Master's eyes only. Oh, if only I'd known you were going to join us. Yeah, I did. I know all your plans. All of them. Or, don't worry, I didn't look. I know your plans. Haha, very funny. Or do you? Grunkle Ford, do you think they... What? Sorry, I was rereading this passage on Dwarven architecture. They've really improved their illustrations, though I can't say the same for their prose. Dipper and Ford put the final pieces in their place. The floor is encircled in a mix of propped up corkboards, books, maps, notes, and loose leaf paper. Ford unfolds a game board in the center of the madness. Brilliant, we're all ready. Don't look so nervous, Stevie. You'll have me here to walk you through it. Wow. Wow, Ford, you're so smart and strong and handsome. Wow, you're so good at DDNMD. Ford sits down next to the game board. He passes a piece of carpet next to him, inviting you to sit, and you do. Dipper sits across from you on the other side of the game board and unfolds an illustrated piece of cardboard, propping it up in front of him. He notices your questioning gaze on it and looks back at you. Oh yeah, this is the Dungeon Master screen. It's just there to protect my secrets. It hides essential die rolls and plot points from prying players' eyes. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Grunkle Ford's tried to look ahead once or twice and spoil a narrative twist. And you were the only player. Christ. I'm just making sure my dungeon mastering apprentice stays on his toes. You can never be too vigilant. Did my promotion go through? I don't know. Hold on. Let me check something. Promotion not approved. I said a cuss in a video again, and they still wouldn't let it be approved. That's a massive bummer. That makes me deeply upset. I really wanna... I'm just trying to get my shit to pop off, and yet here I am. Oh shit, I just hit 290 followers. Sorry, I got distracted. Stevie Sooner. Hey, shut up. Dipper gathers up his dice in a pile next to the DM's screen, ready to roll when needed. Now, I mentioned extra dice set, didn't I? Die are an important, though by no means essential, component of gameplay. No adventurer should leave the house without a set. I keep mine in this souvenir velvet dice bag from Dimension. A local game store. Yes. Another dimension. Stevie, help. People on your TikTok think I'm a hater. What? Comet, you're kidding. Stevie, you are. Shut the fuck up. Comet, what? What is happening? I'm a hater with love. Hold on, I want to go see. Also, I'm still thinking about how expensive the Teletubbies Pride suit is. It's $5,000. Who just commented chug, Stevie chug? Oh, that's why. Cancel Stevie for being hydrated. I genuinely thought you were a hater. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's the hydration zone. All of you. Coat, bad TikTok. You piece of shit. You absolute piece of shit. Bad comment. Wow. Y'all are just really stinky, huh? You are so stinky. Damn. No bad comment. And now for yours. Ford pulls another matching drawstring bag from the depths of his coat. They're having a buy one get one discount. Go ahead, take a look. These will be yours for the session. I hope that he ends up actually giving me the die. Like, permanently. And then, I can't. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna make that joke on Twitch. You pour these dice under the carpet as well. Metallic gold with the numbers embossed in black. My die are a lot like that. Mine are white with embossed gold letters and or gold numbers, and they're gorgeous. Hey Stevie, pink or yellow?
Pink. Pink today.
Fancy. Well, I didn't have enough left to make them from solid gold. I was able to electroplate a set for fun. Great Uncle Ford, you electroplated those dice? They're so nice. That didn't mean to rhyme. Maybe you should be the one with the rapping career, not Jane Omsey. Ford and Dipper laugh. Yeah, maybe not. But anyway, let me reintroduce our characters. Dipper clears his throat, settling into the Dungeon Master persona. When we last left our heroes, Miv the Meddling trapped the great elven wizard Vernon and the halfling fighter Tyros in a dungeon filled to the brim with puzzles, riddles, and brain teasers. To reach Miv and end this journey once and for all, they'll have to brave the dungeon's mysteries and escape with their lives intact. Dipper sets 2 figurines side by side on the game board. One is an imposing figure in flowing robes, and the other is much shorter in comparison, but posed with a will to prove himself. You suppose the former is Vernon and the latter is Tyros. But what would our 2 heroes find in the first room of the dungeon but a potential ally, just as trapped as they were, who will join them in their quest for freedom? Dipper places 3 figurines on the carpet just off to the side of the game board. And you get to choose your character now, Stevie. These are starters with pre-made templates, so good for short notice editions like this. Human Bard, Dwarf Fighter, or Orc Rogue. I do love a good human bard. I do. I think I'll do bard. Yeah. Bards use invigorating song to encourage their allies or the blows of their insults to damage their enemies. Orc Rogue, be the sexy monster you want in the world. I'm sorry. Oh, I fucked up. I fucked up. I can re-choose. It lets me re-choose. See, Bard is the horny choice, which is why I picked it originally. I want to see what the Orc Rogue does. Rogues can move around with stealth, know how to pick both pockets and locks. Okay. No. Okay, that's fine. Yes, make a poll, please, Barb. What's the Dwarf Fighter's deal? Fighters are hardy, brash, and know how to pack a punch. Another fighter, huh? We might need that. Wizards can be kind of squishy. My wizard has extra points in Constitution. You glance at Ford's character sheet and see that while Ford's wizard might be a little buffer than normal, he's a little low on wisdom. No. Okay, y'all. Human bard, dwarf fighter, or orc rogue. This is important. This will affect our gameplay. I have decided. Barb, do you have the power to make polls? I want to double check. I am trying to seduce Grunkle Ford by playing D&D with him and his nephew. Thank you, Nora. Okay, so far, y'all are saying human bard. Orc rogue does sound hot, though. Bottom, top, or verse in that order. Honestly, yeah, that about fits. That does. Bard seduce him. The bard is such a horny choice. It's really stellar stuff. Oh, man. I like that they really just incorporated a whole little D&D match into this. You can tell the passion that they had for this. Like, you can tell the passion that, like, the creators had for this game. I really love that. There we go. Okay, Human Bard is gonna win, I think. I kind of reevaluated my stance on bards lately. You'll come in handy if we encounter any undead. Alright, thanks, y'all. Okay. Will we? Hey, stop trying to play ahead. Yes. Dipper moves your figurine onto the board besides Vernon and Tyros. Alright, what's their name going to be? Alex, short for Alexandrios. You hear Ford trying Alexandrios out under his breath a few times. I'll just call them Alex. Here's your character sheet. It's got all the info on it. Our heroes encounter Alexandrios, Alex for short, in the first room of the dungeon. Alex, what's your deal with our main villain, Miv the Meddling? Miv murdered my family, and now I seek revenge. Barb, but Dwarf Bard, which was not an option. Miv promised me eternal glory, but left a dagger in my back instead. I just woke up here with a headache. Ford, help me. Ooh. I don't want to do Ford Help Me because I think he would like that I can think for myself. Headache. That shit's funny. It is funny. Alex explains how he struck Miv's ire, and in turn, Tiro shares that Miv once bested him in a duel. An embarrassment because Miv is a sorcerer, and sorcerers aren't known for their physical combat skills. In Tiros' defense, he was still young at the time. But none of this matters, because to finally face down Miv, they must escape. Oh, this is cool. The windows! It's the hand. It's, oh my god, I love this. It's the little pine tree. It's Mabel's star. What does that say? Proceed with caution, homies. It's Seuss. Oh my god, that's so cute. What is that? Can y'all tell what that is? Because I can't. Hold on. I want to see if I can make that. No, I'm not going to go to the trouble to get it bigger. I was wondering if that represented Grunkle Ford. Stan's hat mark. Oh, the mark on the hat. Oh, you're right. I think that's just precious. I love that. Oh, I get attributes. This is cool. I have a lot of charisma. Inventory. This is so fun. This is a really cool mechanic. Having woken up here with no recollection of getting here at all, you have no way of knowing which door you came in, should go out of, or even what direction you should head in at all. And now you guys decide what you want to do. You might want to look around first. And by that, of course, we mean rolling a die to see if we notice anything. The outcome of nearly every substantial choice we make is tied to the roll of a dice. I'll let you choose what to do here, Stevie. Then I'll take a look around, go through the red doors, smash a window. I feel like taking a look around is the wise choice up front. Ford shows you what to roll, and Dipper flips through his notebook, ready to tell you what you see. Oh, nice roll. Tacked to one of the walls of this room is a note that reads, "Proceed with caution, homies." Tiros pockets the note. In the distance, you hear the faint sound of rushing water. What do you do next? What's the state of the door behind us? See for yourself. I'm still the DM, but I can't respond unless you check the door. Ford casts Detect Magic, and after confirming with Dipper that there is no magic behind the door, pushes it open. I should get something on Sunday! Thank you, my love. I appreciate you. I'm so goddamn excited. Oh my god, I'm so excited. The three of you leave through the door. Nice. As the last of you step through the doorway, it melts, seeping into the wall as if it were never there. Guess we're not going back that way. A chandelier overhead ignites, casting the room in a warm orange glow and revealing an impressive door on the far wall. In front of it is a large cloth-covered lump. I feel like I need to take another look around. You roll for investigation. You approach it to inspect it. As your footsteps grow nearer, the lump shifts, rising to reveal that it is, in fact, a goblin. The goblin stands to attention and tries to pretend it was never asleep.
Travelers, I notice thee and demand you answer these riddles 3.
Answer the riddles, insult the goblin, or attack the goblin. I feel like Ford would like me playing by the rules and, like, being clever. The goblin reaches into his pocket, pulling out a crumpled piece of paper that he unfolds with care.
What has 88 keys but can't open a single door?
A piano, a piano. Yeah.
Next, what kinds of keys cannot open doors?
I'll let Ford answer this one. A turnkey.
And finally, what is the first thing you did on your adventure? Look around. The door is now open to you. Fabulous, homies.
The goblin steps aside to let you go through the doorway. And with that, you've cleared my goblin puzzle. Well, a fourth of them anyway. It could have gone so many other ways. Hey, thank you for the gift, Subred. You get to do the next choice then. Dipper then beams. And it got gifted to Cloud, no less. A delight and a treasure. Dipper then beams, and you follow his line of sight to realize it's because Ford just gave Dipper an encouraging smile of his own. Oh, that's cute. As you enter this next room, the wall melds over the doorway, sealing you in. Glancing around, the far wall of the room seems to be of a different material and color than the rest, though it could just be the lighting. To the left, you see rows of lights affixed to the wall. I want to inspect the far wall. Because I think it's weird that it's a different material. You look at it and confirm it's a different color. Can I knock on it? You knock along the wall and find that one section sounds hollow. As soon as you realize that, the next knock opens up a gap in the wall, which reveals itself to be a door. I want to go through the door. I've got the sub token and gifted it. Thank you very much, Red. I want to go through the door. As soon as you enter the room, you're struck by how different it looks from the rest of the dungeon. This small chamber is elaborate, with colorful cushions, rugs, and a dining table that holds a half-eaten feast. Next to the feast, a mouse examines a few empty goblets on the table. The mouse sees the party and beckons you to come into the room.
There's been a crime. Someone has stolen my precious silver sword. You three look like heroes. Won't you help me?
When I arrived in my room, I found these 3 suspects. A gnome, a oh, it's still him.
When I arrived in my room, I found these 3 suspects. A gnome, a kobold, and an owlbear.
Excuse me.
I knew someone was going to come and try and steal my precious sword, so I set up Wondrous Feast as a trap for thieves.
You and Ford share a look at the idea that the mouse will somehow be living it up in an evil sorcerer's puzzle dungeon.
I left them 3 goblets. The first held a truth serum, the other 2 a lying serum. I don't know which one of these creatures drank from which, so I was going to hold an interrogation when they woke up. And now you're here. Oh, heroes, won't you help me figure out who stole my sword? I'm afraid that if I uncover the culprit, they'll slay me in cold blood, delicious mouse that I am.
Okay. Well, alright. Took the words right from my mouth, Stevie. Let's get on with the interrogation. You're very welcome, just enjoy it. You're very sweet, Rad. You approach each sleeping creature in turn, waking them up with a few shakes and asking them who stole the silver sword. The gnome says, I didn't do it, the kobold did it. Did it alone. The kobold says, I didn't do it, the owlbear did. And the owlbear says, I didn't do it, the gnome did it alone. Okay. One creature drank a truth serum, the other 2 a lying serum. The gnome said, I didn't do it, the kobold did it alone. The kobold said, I didn't do it, the owlbear did. And the owlbear said, I didn't do it, the gnome did it alone. If one of them is telling the truth, and 2 of them are lying. Okay, if the gnome is telling the truth, then that means the kobold did it, and the kobold is lying. So that means the kobold would be doing it, and the owlbear did not. If the kobold is telling the truth, they didn't do it, the owlbear did, then the owlbear would be lying, and the gnome did. Ah, this is bad. So the language difference, because the other 2 say, yeah, so that's my concern, is that 2 of them say they did it alone. So you think the kobold didn't do it? Kobold and gnome? Okay, give me your reasoning. So the kobold didn't do it alone. So who's telling the truth? Because 2 of them are saying that they did it alone, and only one of them is saying the owlbear did. They didn't do it. Oh. Okay, kobold and gnome. So kobold is telling the truth. No. The alone is the lie. Wait, so the kobold would be telling the truth. No, the kobold would be lying. Well, then someone telling the truth would be saying... Okay, if the alone is the lie, and 2 of them say alone, could be all 3 of kobold took the serum, yeah. So that's what I'm saying, yeah. I didn't do it, the kobold did it alone. So then, that would be a lie. So the kobold did do it, or did do it not alone. Then the kobold will have to be telling the truth if the alone was a lie. I say you should choose the kobold didn't do it, that alone is the lie. The alone is the lie. Yeah, so the kobold is saying the owlbear did. So the owlbear would be lying. I didn't do it. The gnome did it alone. You're right. You're right, you're right, you're right, you're right. Well, no, I mean, because the gnome is lying, and this kobold is telling the truth. And if the kobold... No, because if the kobold was telling the truth, then they wouldn't be guilty. Because even if the alone is the lie in both of those, the kobold would be one of the guilty. But that means the guilty... Oh, wait. Guilty doesn't necessarily mean took the truth serum. Shit, I'm so confused right now. You could pick all three. Ah! I didn't do it, the owlbear did. No, because if they're telling the truth, then it would have to be the owlbear and potentially someone else. And the owlbear is lying. And they did do it. And the gnome said that so then the gnome would be the one doing it. They said the kobold did it alone. I want to say the owlbear. I want to say the owlbear and the gnome then. This is very difficult. This is very difficult. I'm having such a hard time. I'm so bad at riddles like these. Okay, I'm just gonna say owlbear and gnome. Yeah, local phantom might be right because the gnome... Say the gnome is lying and they're saying the kobold did it alone. The kobold is telling the truth, and they're saying the owlbear did do it. And the owlbear is lying, and they're saying the gnome did it alone. So they're all blaming other people. I think it was the gnome and the owlbear then. Why do they do this? I'm not a smart person. Owlbear, gnome. Yes! Oh, thank God. Oh my God. Fucking A. I'm not clever enough for this. The mouse looks dumbfounded at how fast you figured it out, but soon turns her attention back to the thieves. Nice job. Now cough up the sword, you thieves. The owlbear digs within their feathers to reveal an ornate, polished silver sword, and the gnome figured it out so fast. I know. I'm like sitting here like... And they're like, wow, you're so clever. Yeah, Phantom, I should have just listened to you. And the gnome retrieves a matching scabbard from under their hat. The mouse looks down at the returned sword happily, then looks at the partner. I realize now that keeping this sword is more trouble than it's worth. Here, you have it. I've only ever used it as a conversation starter because it can only cut through silver. Perhaps with you, it'll finally have some use. The mouse bestows the silver sword upon your party. You move forward, leaving the mouse's room behind, and come to another doorway. While Dipper's flipping through his notebook for the next part in the dungeon, Ford nudges you, holding up a hand for a high 6. That was a nice job, Stevie. I'm impressed you got the riddle. Yeah, he's being kind of a fucking deadbeat. He did not help with that at all. And I know he figured it out faster than I did. Disappointing. Is it hot in here, or is it just a side effect of the green glass door disintegrating? You high 6 Ford, beaming as Dipper finds the next page he needs to continue the game. Okay. I am going to pause here for the night. Because it's 10 p.m. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I think I will either continue this on Thursday or I'll be playing Minecraft if we have an event going on. I will have to see what that's looking like later, but otherwise I'll probably stream this or maybe Undertale, but probably this. I love you guys very much. If you are somewhere where it is the daytime or the morning, I hope you have a great day. If you're somewhere where it's the evening, I hope you sleep well. Please drink some water, hydrate, even if I don't want to hydrate, hydrate or whatever. Eat a snack, take care of yourself,
I love you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will see you in the next one.